Some things can't be read in a book or a newspaper. They must instead be lived.
There's nobody here to stop this. There's nobody.
Hi, I'm Fred Satilli. This is The Real Generation Gap. And a wonderful thing happened this week. Actually, two wonderful things. I always ask for people to send me independent movies, movies that aren't either ancient movies or movies that aren't mainstream. And this week, someone sent me A Line in the Sand. And Line in the Sand is a very unique documentary by James O'Keefe. You may remember him from the Veritas Project. He exposes institutional malfeasance, and this movie is his current masterpiece. He now is no longer with the Veritas Project, of course. He's with the OMG, the O'Keefe Media Group. This movie was recommended by somebody, and I ask many times for people to send me independent films or unique films, and somebody did. My friend Yvette Chambers, who follows all this political stuff and actually got a job working with the OMG group on this project. So she called and told me about it. And last night in Beverly Hills, there was a pre-premiere sneak preview for special people, the donors and that kind of thing. And fortunately, they were kind enough to include me. This was done at the Fine Arts Theater in Beverly Hills, and it's an absolutely beautiful theater, and the people there treated us very well, really. I'm very happy about that. But now we're going to start to talk about the movie. And the important thing to remember about the movie is this. This is not a documentary about illegal immigration. This is a documentary about the migrant industrial complex. Now, we're used to seeing in the news reports about illegal immigration. And we probably all have a preconceived idea of what's going on there and how it's going on, but we have no idea. James O'Keefe went down to the border to El Campo with his camera crew. And actually, he went all along the border from California to Texas. But they showed cartel tunnels under the wall. And they showed places where they had cut holes through the wall. And sometimes they cut these holes through with the police literally watching them. Another thing that they showed, which was really shocking, was the Mexican train that people are climbing on top of and traveling across country to get to the wall. This is something that Mexico is providing. And what this is there's a gigantic industrial complex of charitable organizations and non-government organizations who are getting billions of dollars of funding from where and from whom. And he goes into all that. And the movie has multiple sections. One section, they focused on that. Another section is focused on children and how these unescorted children as young as 3 years old are being brought there and spanked across the border and put into these vast complexes. Now, I know that many of you have seen movies where they had pictures of Auschwitz or Dachau, and they had rows and rows of housing for people. And that's the way these places are. They're vast. They're the size of like a giant shopping mall with spread out Quonset huts or buildings in all directions, and they're housing thousands of people. And then they're showing the transportation system for these people. There are American citizens that their job is to be a bus driver, and you're driving these people from these collective areas to all different states. Folks, this is not illegal immigration. This is a gigantic business. The billions of dollars that are being poured in are shown by James O'Keefe and his cameramen. And all throughout the movie, they interview different people. They interview the Border Patrol. And this Border Patrol, you don't understand what they're up against. You think you do, but you don't. There's a combination of plausible deniability, of just ignorance, of apathy. O'Keefe found a guy walking in the desert, and he said, do you want to turn yourself in? He said, well, yeah, the patrol is right there, but they're not taking me. They won't accept me. They don't want to know me. They're busy with what they're doing, and they don't have time to take me into custody. And I want to go into custody. So there are people that want to go, that come, and they turn themselves right in. I'm in America. Take me, house me, feed me. And you should see these places. There's a range of good to bad. There are some places that are just like apartment complexes, and there's a whole bunch of people living there, and they're from all over the world. And when James O'Keefe talked to them, they said, we don't know anything. We don't know who finances this. We don't know where we're going. We don't know how long we'll be here. We don't know who's provided us with these clothes and food and everything that we have. And it's this weird international community. It's bizarre. And yet nobody's reporting on this until now. I'm telling you, you need to see the movie Line in the Sand. It's different. It's a different kind of documentary. It's a story that none of us are being told. When they show you these names of these organizations and how many billions of dollars they're receiving to do this, it's shocking. Another shocking element of the story is the employees of all this. So they went into one building. James O'Keefe and his camera crew came walking in like they've done with so many organizations. And they found two guys that were just sleeping on their desk, hunched over, face down, sleeping. They say, wake up, guys, wake up. And they said, oh, why? Are there migrants here? And they said, no. They said, well, what are you doing here? They said, well, we want to interview you. And they said, oh, we just, if migrants come, we house them, and then we call somebody and they come and get them. And, we distribute them around the country. And there's none here right now. But, if you, and James O'Keefe said, well, how much money do you guys make? And they said, well, we make $28.50 an hour. And he said, well, that seems like pretty good money. Right now you're sleeping on your desk. And they said, if this border is closed, you'll no longer have a job. They said, yeah, that's true, but the border will never be closed. They said, you don't realize the magnitude of this industry. Between housing, transportation, medical care, processing, lawyers and judges and everything that goes on, this will never end. I mean, it's too big to fail. This is a huge thing. They just told them this on camera. It was remarkable. They showed one agent in Vermont. This is Border Patrol in Vermont, USA. Do you know where Vermont is? It's like north of Massachusetts. Like, I realize people could be coming in from Canada, but this guy, the reason he was a whistleblower and he was ready to talk to the whole world was because both of his brothers had died from fentanyl overdose. And he just hated that. And he wanted to bring that to the American people, say, look, I grew up with my two brothers. They're both dead now. I'm here trying to make a difference. I'm here reporting that this is a real bad thing that you're doing. And I don't care if the cartel kills me, and I don't care if the American government kills me. I'm going to tell my story. I have faith in God. They can never take away my faith in God. And as long as I know that I have God on my side, I know that I can speak the truth, and I am. This is going on. They're sending people all the way here, all the way. These illegal migrants, they're in, some of them are in Alaska. I mean, it's not some place you can walk to. Again, I can't tell you enough how important James O'Keefe's movie, Line in the Sand, is. Now, there's an important thing to know. When Tucker Carlson saw this, he said, put it on my podcast channel. So those people who subscribe to Tucker Carlson, and there's millions who do, they are watching this movie now. It's not in the theater yet, but you can get the preview on the Tucker Carlson network. I guess that's what they call it. And you should. And even if you have to just sign up for 1 month, I don't know, $6, $7, or $8, that's what you would pay for a movie, right? It's worth it. Have a party, bring people over, get some wings, and seriously watch this movie. It's an eye-opener. It's an untold story. It's the truth about what's going on. I'm not really doing a great job in describing each and every scene. I mean, when you see them crawling through these cartel tunnels, or when you see the guys literally with sawzalls cutting the giant metal steel wall, and they're doing it with Homeland Security watching them. They're doing it in broad daylight. They cut the fence and they get it to where they can move it. And then in the night, they come back with the people and they move it, and the people all run through. And there's plenty of footage of people running through and climbing over and climbing under and going around. And this is going on every single day. So I'm just going to give myself an outro. I think you get the idea. I'm Fred Satilli. This is The Real Generation Gap. Go to see Line in the Sand, James O'Keefe's current masterpiece. And I thank you very much.